Okay, so one more video here for you guys because I promised you that I was going to teach you how to cut a cake. And this is a good thing for you guys to know how to do. Everybody wants to approach a cake cutting it like a pie, right? And that is absolutely not what we need to be doing. The industry standard is 4 inches tall. This cake, like I told you guys in the other video, is about 4.5 inches tall. Usually my cakes are closer to 5 inches tall. And you know, many of you guys I know, many of the PMCers will actually do one extra cake, so it's 6 layers inside of, or 3 individual cakes stacked on top of each other. So it'll be a 6-inch-ish cake. So cutting it like a piece of pie, first of all, is going to be a mess in the middle. Everything's going to be falling apart, and second, it's just going to be too much cake. So there's a very easy way to cut your cake. You're going to make a grid, basically, okay? And this is for industry standards, for a piece of wedding cake, where in theory you have already eaten and you've been fed. It's going to be a 1 inch by 1 inch by 4 inches tall piece. Okay, that's you're going to have a little strip of cake like that, and that's going to be your piece of cake. For a birthday party where you are not necessarily eating like you are at a wedding, it's going to be a 2 inch by 1 inch by 4 inch. So you're going to have a bigger slab. That's not 2 inches, but a bigger slab like that. The way you do that, you kind of divide your cake into a grid, okay? And I'm going to use my cake lifter here, and I'm just going to pull it back really well. It doesn't matter. I don't have to pull it back for this. And so I got a big knife and I'll give you guys a link for that too, because I got big everything for these things because they're so big. But basically, I'm going to go a little bit more than 1 inch in this case, because remember that the outside, just around the circumference, it's all going to be ganache. So whoever gets that first bite of cake or that first edge of cake, you're basically going to give them a whole lot of ganache. So when you cut, you'll think about that. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and cut straight across. And right now, because I just did my fondant and my ganaching and everything, and I didn't let the cake rest, I'm going to be ruining the sides. It's not going to be nearly as pretty as it normally would be, but okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to catch it on a cake circle. Okay, so you guys can see here, you've got you've got thick ganache, so whoever gets the side pieces and whoever gets this piece is going to get a whole lot of ganache. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut about 1 inch there, okay? And again, this first piece is not perfect because this is the one that has a lot of ganache, but all the others are going to be much more uniform and much easier to eat. And so you're gonna just go through here and go like this. And so this one piece will probably give you about 4 slices of cake, okay? And so from there on, all you're gonna do is the same thing. You're just gonna continue to cut pieces like this, big slabs. And what I do, I'm not gonna continue to cut it right now because I don't have a house full of people wanting to eat the cake at the second, but I would go down there. First of all, I would clean this because you really need to clean, between each slice, you need to clean because otherwise it's not going to cut nicely. You're gonna start making a mess. So I would clean this blade, but, and so at every birthday party that I ever do, my mom is always standing next to me with paper towels and just like never ending paper towels. And I'm just like cleaning that blade and going, cleaning that blade and going. And each separate tier has its own blade because depending on what your filling is and everything, you're just taking a muck from one cake to another. So I have a separate blade for each tier. But anyhow, I would, again, and here you can see it much more clearly, I would do about 1 inch there. I would push down and I would catch it with my cake lifter. Put it onto the cake lifter, and then I can easily cut 1, 2, 3, 4, however many I want. And you just keep going like that. You just keep going the whole thing. There's gonna come a point where it's probably easier to just push the cake forward onto its belly, if you will, and then slice it there. than to, you know, if you only have this little piece left here. But that's how you cut a cake. And I'll give you guys a breakdown. I make a breakdown for you guys, but the Wilton website, this is something that the Wilton website is really good for. It actually tells you how many servings to a 4-inch tall cake, depending on the size. And those are accurate measurements, those are accurate servings, but I'll give you guys a link so you can get there. So that's how you cut a cake. And I think Kara and Megan specifically have asked me for that. So that is there. And the shout out I was going to give earlier that I forgot to give was for Morgan, because as I was starting to put everything together, she texted me too. So anyhow, this is a day full of PMC today. All right, thanks guys.